Ariana Grande is at the center of a privacy controversy after a man allegedly took secret photos inside her home.
And we're interviewing Nickelodeon stars Ariana Grande.
You guys, something about Ariana Grande in 2026 is just not adding up. We all saw Wicked for a good drop on streaming this weekend, but while everyone is obsessed with Glinda, the real story is what's happening behind the scenes. Because once you see the Ariana Grande relationship pattern, you literally cannot unsee it. Is this a wicked coincidence, or is the untouchable image finally cracking in real time? We need to talk about the dots everyone is finally connecting.
Ariana Grande is at the center of a privacy controversy after a man allegedly took secret photos inside her home. According to reports circulating online, a fan named Nikki Franca reportedly managed to get close to Ariana through mutual friends. After gaining their trust, he was eventually invited to a private gathering at the singer's house. During the visit, the man allegedly took several private photos of Ariana from a distance, reportedly without her knowledge. The images later appeared on social media, where he posted them with a caption mocking the situation. The post quickly caused outrage online, with many fans accusing him of violating Ariana's privacy. Soon after the backlash, the photos were deleted and the account was reportedly set to private. So far, Ariana Grande has not publicly commented on the situation.
But how do you go from being one of the most loved pop stars on the planet to suddenly having your own fan pages quitting, people turning on you, and your entire image just cracking in real time? Because that's exactly what's happening with Ariana Grande right now. And no, this is not just random hate. This is layers. Messy relationships, weird timelines, fans starting to wake up, and this growing feeling that something has been off for years. But nobody really wanted to say it out loud until now. Okay, we seriously need to talk about this because it's not just one scandal anymore. This is like a buildup of multiple things happening at once. We're talking about her relationships, the cheating allegations, the way she presents herself, her fan base defending everything, and this weird shift in how people feel about her. And listen, I'm not saying she's suddenly irrelevant or anything dramatic like that, but the vibe has changed. People are looking at her differently now. There's more skepticism, more side-eye, more, wait, what is actually going on? And that didn't happen overnight. This has been slowly building for years, and now it's all kind of spilling out at once. Because if you rewind a little, there was a time when Ariana Grande could literally do no wrong. She had the voice, the hits, the aesthetic, the fan base, everything. Okay, I have to pause for a second because I'm seeing two completely different sides to this on social media. Half of you are saying this is just Ariana Grande living her life, and the other half are saying the pattern is officially undeniable in 2026. I'm pinning the best argument, so let me know, are you team misunderstood or team it's a pattern? Drop your vote below right now. People loved her. She had that sweet, almost untouchable image, like this tiny, angelic pop star who just made good music and minded her business. But over time, little things started popping up. Nothing huge at first, just small cracks. And one of the biggest things people started noticing was her relationships. This is where it starts getting weird, you guys, because when you actually look at her dating history, there's a pattern that's kind of hard to ignore. I'm not saying anything is fact, but allegedly, there have been multiple situations where relationships didn't exactly start in the cleanest way. We're talking about people like Big Sean, Mac Miller, and Pete Davidson, and every time, the timelines are just a little too close for comfort. Like breakups happening, and then boom, new relationship immediately. And at first, people brushed it off like, okay, celebrity life, whatever. But when it keeps happening over and over again, people start asking questions. And then this is where everything really takes a turn, because the situation with Ethan Slater, that's what really pushed people over the edge. This wasn't just another messy celeb relationship. This involved a marriage, a newborn baby, and a timeline that made people very uncomfortable. Now, yes, there's technically no confirmed proof of cheating. But then you hear statements from his ex-wife, and you're like, okay, something definitely happened here. And people were not okay with it. Because it wasn't just gossip anymore. It felt real, it felt messy, and honestly, it felt kind of wrong to a lot of people. And this is where things escalate, because now people aren't just looking at this one situation. They're looking back at everything, and suddenly it starts to look like a pattern instead of coincidence. Like jumping from relationship to relationship. overlapping timelines, getting involved in already complicated situations. And again, people are asking, is this just bad timing every single time, or is this behavior? Because those are two very different things. And once people started thinking of it as a pattern, everything changed. I'm gonna be real for a second. This is where it stops feeling like just celebrity gossip. Because when you see someone constantly moving from one relationship to another without any real break, it raises questions. Like, are you actually processing anything? Are you actually connecting with these people? Or are you just filling a space? And I'm not diagnosing anything.
This type of behavior is so weird because imagine being invited to Ariana Grande's home and then taking pictures of her without her knowing. Because that's what this guy did. He was invited to Ariana's home to watch Drag Race and for some reason decided to take pictures of her and put them on TikTok. Like, you can clearly tell that no one knew he was taking this. Same with this one of her and Ethan Slater. He's clearly hiding his phone. It's weird. It's creepy. Why? This is the guy's account, by the way. Do whatever you want with this information. He was also on live earlier claiming that Ariana has an ED, which we don't know for sure if she does. That's all just speculation. And even in the event where she does, why is he putting that online? He clearly loves the attention too. I saw him live on TikTok when I checked out his account. And listen to what he says. He's like, oh, I love the hate. Boy.
For posting pictures Ari probably knows about is crazy. Girl, let her, y'all can call me literally anything. I don't know any of you guys. So honestly, like, I love the love and I love the hate. So y'all can hate on me all you want.
And all this just for 2,000 likes. What do you guys think of this? I hope you think it's weird and creepy, because if you don't, then I'm questioning you. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments.
But people online have been throwing around terms like codependency and serial monogamy, because it's not just that she dates. It's how fast, how intense, and how repetitive it all is. And that's what's making people uncomfortable. But wait, because it gets worse. The fan base. You guys, the fan base is a whole situation on its own. Because instead of questioning anything, a lot of fans just defend everything no matter what. But wait, because it gets worse. The fan base. You guys, the fan base is a whole situation on its own. Because instead of questioning anything, a lot of fans just defend everything no matter what. Like, no matter what comes out, it's always, she did nothing wrong, or you're just jealous, or they're meant to be. And it's like, are we looking at the same situation? Because some of these things are objectively messy, and pretending they're not doesn't make them disappear. It just makes the whole situation feel more delusional. Then you go on social media and it gets even crazier. You see edits romanticizing everything, acting like it's some fairy tale, completely ignoring the context. Meanwhile, other people are in the comments like, didn't he just leave his wife and baby? And it turns into this whole divide. It's like reality versus fandom. And honestly, it's kind of wild to watch because it feels like people are choosing what version of the story they want to believe. But this isn't even just about relationships. This is where things get even deeper, because people have also started noticing how much she changes as a person. Her voice, her personality, her aesthetic, her mannerisms. It's like every era is a completely different version of her. And yes, artists evolve, that's normal. But this feels extreme, like, who is the real version? Because every time you think you understand her, she shifts again. And that's where the authenticity conversation comes in. Because when someone's image changes this often, people start wondering what's actually real. Even with her music, she said certain songs didn't feel like her, but then still uses them for branding. And it's like, okay, so what is you then? What's genuine and what's just part of the persona? Because at some point, it starts to feel like everything is just curated.
Ariana Grande is officially teasing her next album, and I'm serious. Yesterday, Miss Grande posted, a seemingly normal photo dump until you realize it was posted on March 18th at 8 a.m. If you remember anything about the Eternal Sunshine rollout, she would always post things at 7 a.m. or p.m. on any date that ended with a 7, so March 7th, March 17th, March 27th. So knowing this woman right here, it is not a coincidence that she posted something on March 18th at 8 a.m. when you realize that a bunch of the selfies she posted are from Max Martin's studio. This backdrop is the same as this backdrop. Now, if that wasn't enough to convince you something was coming, Ilya, who has produced music for Ariana for years, reposted the dump. And if that wasn't enough, rumor has it Ariana has partnered with Tommy Brown again for AG8, as he has liked the photo dump as well. I know we're used to clowning really hard, but there are just so many signs, and there have been a bunch of signs that this is happening. She's been using 8 exclamation points. She's been using 8 emojis. She's onto something, and I'm onto her.
And then you have her public statements, which honestly just confuse people even more. Like, she'll say things that sound deep, but when you actually think about it, you're like, wait, what did that even mean? It's giving vibes over clarity. And people are starting to notice that too. Like, it's not landing the way it used to. Now, this next part is where things get serious, because a lot of people have been expressing concern about her health. And look, this is not about body shaming at all. But when someone says, I'm the healthiest I've ever been, and people are visibly concerned, there's a disconnect there. And that's what's making people uncomfortable, because fans are either genuinely worried or completely dismissing it, and there's no middle ground. And again, the fan base plays a role here, because instead of acknowledging concern, some people are defending everything or even trying to look the same. And that's where it becomes a bigger issue, because now it's influencing behavior. And that's not just celebrity drama anymore. That's real-world impact. So when you zoom out and look at everything together, it paints a much bigger picture. The relationships, the timelines, the identity shifts, the confusing messaging, the fan base reactions, it all connects. It's not just one thing. It's everything happening at once. And that's why people are calling it a downfall. Not because she's suddenly untalented or irrelevant, but because the perception has changed. People are questioning her now. They're not just blindly supporting everything anymore. This doesn't mean it's over. Not even close. Celebrities reinvent themselves all the time, and maybe that's what this is. A transition. A messy one, but still a transition. So the real question is, what happens next? Does she take a break? Does she address anything? Do people move on, or is this just the beginning of a bigger shift? Because I'm not gonna lie, something still feels off, and I feel like we haven't even seen the full story yet. So, what do you guys think? But honestly, the biggest question is what happens when the tour starts in June. Since Ariana Grande called this her one last hurrah before a huge hiatus, do you think she's trying to outrun the drama, or is she actually closing this chapter for good? If you're going to the North American or London shows, comment tour below so I can see how many of us are actually still sticking by her. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next deep dive.